back to the Mike Leaf Show here on the Warrior Sports Network. I'm Grant Wall, joined as always by Winona State head coach Mike Leaf. And coach, anytime you can get a win on the road in conference play, it's a good thing. But this last weekend, to get the 2 wins on the road that you got against Concordia-St. Paul and then a top 10 ranked Minnesota State team, that's just a fantastic weekend on the road for the Warriors.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, we got finals coming up, and it's one of those things where you're preparing. You know, go back to when you were in school. It's a stressful time, and to be on the road though and get those 2 wins was just huge for us.
Let's start with Friday night's game, a game where the Warriors jump out to a pretty big lead. Concordia battles back, and it's tied late. Taylor Cameron has the ball in his hands, goes to the basket, layup that seemed to touch every part of the rim 3 or 4 times, and finally falls through for the game winner. To win in that exciting fashion was really a great way to start the weekend.
Yeah, you know, I think TC does that just on purpose, because it was a bounce, yeah, and then it goes in, and could have went either way. But it was, you know, he afterwards he felt bad because, you know, one of those things where the ball goes through the hole, and you know, he touches it after a score, so we get called for a technical on that because we had a warning earlier in the game, and it's second nature. It's right by him,
right?
You know, but needless to say, it was a big play for him. But you know, Concordia's got some really talented players. They really do. They got some nice shooters out there, but really good quickness at the guard, and they were getting some penetration on us and hit some big threes and got themselves back into the game, and that's something that we've been preaching. You know, we just can't have that happen. You build a lead, you got to build on it even more so. So it was, but it was, you know, sweet to have it end like it did, obviously. And you know, I also, you know, getting into that next night's game then against Mankato, it was, you know, we talked about that. We got out rebounded, and you know, if we're going to do that against Mankato, we just might as well throw in the towel because they're a team you just can't do that to. And I tell you what, we came out fighting and just battled to the bitter end, and I was proud of our guys to do so, and hopefully that's that step we need to take for the future games.
One, Mankato, or Minnesota State, is such a good opponent. They're ranked in the top 10 for a reason nationally. To get a road win like that so early in the season, what does that say about your team?
Well, I think, yeah, you know, a great atmosphere for us. You know, they're you know, a couple of their guys, Monahan, one of their guards, had mentioned that it's fun to play in front of a big crowd. So obviously we must be bringing something to the table.
Yeah.
And but it was a great atmosphere, and you know, it's one of those things where you know, we had won there last year, and you knew they were going to come at us, and I said, you know, we've got to weather the storm, but just do those simple things, because you know, if you make great decisions and don't turn the ball over, good things can happen. And the nice thing is we shot it well, and something we hadn't been doing. And I tell you what, our defense was key, and our rebounding was the best yet.
And another big key to that game, obviously, was the play of Riley Bambenek. The freshman scored 33 points. It's his first game against a ranked opponent in his career. What does it say about him to be able to come out on the road in a hostile environment against a top 10 opponent and put up a performance like he did?
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was sensational. You know, and it, you know, they've got a couple bigs inside, and you know, Riley knew that. You know, he's got to finish or the short jumper. He started with the jumper. They started coming out on that, and then he took it to the hole, and my God, slithering through there. And he's got a nice, you know, length to him. And, you know, he just had a tremendous game. And you know, I see a lot of great things coming out of him in the future. And I told him, you know, you'd have a bunch of games like that. They're going to be trying to shut you down. But that's what you want, and you know, it's just going to open up a lot of things for other players.
Did you expect a 30-point performance from him so soon in his career?
You know, no. Mid-20s is nice,
yeah,
you know, but not 30. You know, and you got to look at it. He misses the one free throw at the end, and after the game, he said, "I iced him." And I said, "How did I ice him? I didn't even call the timeout." He goes, "In the huddle, just in case he misses. You know, we had to have a plan, a backup plan." So he told me I iced him. I said, "Come on, just put it in next time." But he's, you know, he really did. He had a tremendous game, and you know, I think the world of him as a player. And you know, he's got a great career ahead of him. But I tell you what, I told him he's going to draw a crowd. Yeah. So get used to it.
Great poise for a freshman as well.
Absolutely.
Well, that's all we have for this edition of the Mike Leaf Show. Come back later in the week. We'll hear from Coach Leaf. But before that this week, we're going to sit down with Taylor Cameron and Kellen Taylor, the 2 Warrior seniors.